All right. Shalom, brothers and sisters. I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been a lot going on collectively right now. I've been kind of keeping tabs with that, seeing what's going on in the world around me and just trying to understand my brothers and sisters. I've also been more motivated into understanding a lot of the problems that go on in the black community. And one thing I'm realizing for any people, no matter what you look like, is that for you to really connect with your roots and learn to love those that look like you, that are a part of your community, that share your DNA and your blood, or vice versa, like brothers and sisters that come from a different tribe or nation than you must first learn to love yourself. You understand? So my goal is to connect people with their center, with their essence, with what matters most, and that's their heart, And it's been a difficult journey for me, kind of, moving forward and figuring out who I am versus who I'm not, and getting real raw and honest with myself, because a lot of my ideas of who I am has come from others. It has come from who I believe my family sees me to be, who I believe my friends see me to be, superficial things of that nature. And also, I've also learned to see myself based on comparing myself to others around me. So it kind of gives me like a hard time when I'm trying to question and see who I'm supposed to show up as in the world. It kind of clouds my judgment, because when you're comparing and when your idea of yourself comes from how others view you, then you're not really being true to yourself. You understand? And so that kind of gets draining after a point. Like, we simply can't fake an image. You understand? That's very uncomfortable and takes a lot of mental energy. And so to really be yourself, you just have to it's a simple process of getting vulnerable with yourself and identifying your ego, in a way where you're willing to acknowledge, because sometimes we be in denial. When we see something in ourselves that we don't like, maybe we copying somebody, maybe we treat others wrong, or maybe whatever it is that you see in yourself that you don't like, we kind of try to be in denial about that and push that away. But all we're doing is hurting ourselves in the long run, because Inky Johnson said this, a motivational speaker. He's very inspiring. He said, at the end of the day, you're not lying to nobody. You're lying to yourself. I'm sitting in front of a mirror right now, and, what I see in that mirror, if I choose to disregard that, this image is never going to go away. You understand? My image is never just going to disappear. I'm just not going to wake up tomorrow and be Sal or Bob Jones. You understand? I'm always going to be myself. So once I can learn to appreciate who I am and understand the fact that I have problems, then I can actually free myself long term, because it's something that I'm not trying to be in denial about, and I can acknowledge and work on and change certain habits, because I don't believe in perfect. I believe perfect is an image and it's a facade. You understand? But I do believe that you can love yourself and appreciate yourself no matter what, So that's really what my message is about today, is encouraging others, all those who are tuning into this video, to just kind of get real and raw with yourself. I don't even really know any other way to put it. Reflect whatever you got to do. Maybe you're watching this and you're feeling something similar, of the nature of you're questioning yourself, or you feel as if you're not worthy, or maybe there's just something going on with you. Okay, that's what it's all about, just something going on with you. And I'm just asking you to challenge that, to see where does that come from. You understand? Because we tend to form a lot of unhealthy codependent tendencies. Okay, and we do this not only with people, but we do this with materials too. You understand? So a lot of times we tend to dislike ourselves because we feel like something is wrong with us, because of a lot of like our trauma. Okay, that comes from traumatic experiences that we've had in the past. So if you're a single person, right, your trauma lies in say for example, you're single and then you get into a relationship or something like that. Now, there's trauma from you being single and being alone. Most likely, a lot of people don't like to be alone. We love to the company of others, or at least the company of others that we value. You understand? So anytime something goes wrong in that relationship and connection, it makes you kind of beat yourself up a lot of times. Like, is there something wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? Especially if there's this consistency. Maybe you've had a lot of bad relationships in the past where that has happened, and then you start to question yourself and value yourself less. Or this could be with family. You understand? And so, you have your different family members. They all have their different opinions of you, but it's not what you believe yourself to be or know yourself to be. So it's kind of limiting, or it brings you down. You understand? And so that's what I mean by unhealthy codependent issues. And a lot of times folks have this with, again, materialistic things like drugs, and different kinds of things, because we just don't like what we're experiencing. We don't want to be with ourselves. We don't want to sit 24/7 with the thoughts in our own mind. It's very frightening, and it makes us afraid. You understand? But again, the only way out is in, and it's a necessary process. And so when we do come to a point where like we're tired of being tired, and we're like, hey, I owe it to myself. I owe it to myself to kind of appreciate myself. Like, I have to live with me forever. So why not start appreciating myself? Once you get to that point, you start to care a lot less what others think and feel about you. You'll start to prioritize yourself more. You'll start to set certain boundaries. And, I'm a firm believer in the Trinity of mind, body, and spirit. So what you allow yourself to eat, like the standards that you have in your life, physically, how you allow people to treat you, how you treat yourself, what you say to yourself. You understand? The food that you allowing yourself to eat. Is it good quality, or is it low quality, or is it garbage? You understand? As far as your mind, what are you programming yourself with? Are you taking days off when you are like mentally drained and tired? Are you watching things that uplift you, make you feel good? Or are you tuning into things that's just like chaotic, and it makes you feel terrible, or it tells you, it just speaks lowly of others and things like that, and that kind of reflect off to you? So all of that has a place when it comes to boundaries and deciding what you will and will not accept for yourself. And the next thing too is self-care is a messy process. You understand? It's uncomfortable, and sometimes most people don't get through with it. They don't even start it because, again, it's uncomfortable. But one thing I have to say to that is that transformation requires uncomfortability. When your body's like going through certain changes as you're growing, or with animals, as animals are like it doesn't matter what it is. You can look at any example in nature, as far as like the seasons when the leaves fall and then the branches are bare. Change is just uncomfortable to begin with, but change, right? Sometimes we want change in our lives. It requires uncomfortability. So that's why I said the only way out is in. You understand? And so we kind of owe that to ourselves, you know? And I just believe that that's something that allows us, it creates an opportunity, right? Say, for example, and this is a real example that I'm giving you guys now. I often reflect on my past when I'm meditating, or just randomly. Sometimes it'll come up in my dreams where I'm at a point where like I'm gang banging or street affiliated, you know, and I'm really young. I'm talking about 12, 13, 14 years old, you know, getting into legal trouble, doing grown up things, stealing, spending nights out without my parents knowing where I'm at. All these different kinds of things that as a young child, I really didn't understand the severity of, but I kind of, you know, built up trauma within me because those experiences were intense. You understand? And so often when I think back on that, I feel bad. I feel bad for my younger self that I had to go through that. You understand? But what I didn't realize is that it gave me an opportunity to transform my life so that I can be an example for others out in the world that it's possible to change your life. And so I can be an example in my community as a black leader. You understand? And be proud of myself because of that. Not because anybody has to be proud of me or congratulate me, but I can be proud of what I turn my life into. You understand? And so that's what I mean. It creates opportunity because you can choose to sit with the uncomfortable factor of like, yeah, I don't like what I see. But what we don't understand is that the gems are hidden in the darkness. You understand? That's where we find the most coolest things. That's where we find the most ground-shattering truths. You understand? Within the darkness. That's what the sun or the light comes to do. It comes to illuminate things, right? But we have to kind of shine that light in the darkness. We have to be that light. You understand? So you have to challenge your perspective. You know, if you go in and dig and you look for diamonds or precious minerals, you have to get under the ground. You have to get under the soil where they're buried in darkness. You understand? And most of the minerals, they had to go through intense pressure. They had to become really, really dense to become as precious as we call them and see them today. So that's kind of the same process that we go through with that, you know, and it's beautiful because, again, it's the very thing. Like, a lot of folks feel like, you know what, man, like my trauma, I don't know anybody who grew up with what I went through, or what I went through is just unforgivable. I know people that has been through some of the most heartbreaking situations, you understand? But their testimony becomes very, very powerful out there in the world. It goes on to move people. It goes on to create them an opportunity. And the most important thing is when they move forward from where they have come in their life. It's like, it's so beautiful to them. Like, they love and they appreciate themselves because they didn't know they could do that. You understand? Inky Johnson said, some people don't need you to preach a sermon. They need you to live and to be an example of one. And that's exactly what I am today. You understand? And my guy, David Goggins, I'm really strong, really straightforward, really motivated, really inspiring guy. You know, he said, the thing that he's afraid of is, or he was afraid of, which kind of pushed him to be the person that he is today, coming from over 200-pound man to recruiting for the Navy SEALs, the most hardest military combat training in the world. You understand? Going on to break the world's record for pull-ups, going on to run 200 miles, doing all these crazy things, when all he seen himself as before was eating fast food, sitting on the couch, you know, and he had a child, and like, I know his mentor was beating him up, but he said the one thing he was afraid of, or one thing that he wanted to do, right? They kind of go hand in hand, as he said that he didn't want, when he get to heaven, if there is a God, right, which he believes there is a God, that God said, you were supposed to be this, you were supposed to be that, you were supposed to be this, all these great things. You understand? But he did not achieve that because he shortcut himself, or he doubted himself, or he limited himself, or he was afraid of change because it's uncomfortable. It was hard. And it was very hard. If you listen to his story, it's very hard to get from that. And many people's stories are like that. You understand? Not that it's important to look onto other people's story, but these are just examples. You understand? So he said he wanted to be the guy that surprises God. Like, look, he wanted God to say, I didn't write this. I had to write your story as you went along, because there was things in you that I didn't even know that you could do. That's powerful. You understand? And so that's what pressure does, and there's no running away from that. We just have to kind of sit with it and accept it, And so also another thing that I've gotten caught up with is when it comes to timing. Sometimes we feel like it's a race. I have to get this done before this person, or I have to get here because other people are looking at me. They waiting on my downfall, or like we just kind of have these we give ourselves these deadlines. Like, I'm not where I want to be in this time limit. But what we don't understand is the process building up to that is where the true gems and the true merit is. You understand? Because that's what's transforming you and turning you into that person that you will go on in the future to become. Money doesn't buy that. Only time, patience, and hard work. You understand? And so, just in general, the process of loving yourself, appreciating yourself, affirming yourself, taking care of yourself, setting boundaries for you, prioritizing yourself before you prioritize anything else. The act of doing that, there is, again, no deadline on that. You understand? Because it's a spiritual journey. It's a self journey. You come into this world alone and you will leave alone. We hear that a lot of times, but we don't truly understand what that means. Because what's going on is we're experiencing life from here, from our heart. You understand? And so experiencing life from your heart, if you lie into yourself, if you comparing yourself and wearing all of these fake masks and trying to keep up with facades, that's very tiring. Like I said, and you just won't really be happy. And you don't want to be that way for your whole journey. You understand? But the thing is everybody's journey look different. Things take a different amount of time for every unique individual. And that should be respected. You should give yourself that much respect that you take time on yourself. If all of the greats in the world, or all the beautiful people in the world that we tend to admire, if others told them, hey, I need you here and I need you to stop worrying about yourself or your goals or your ambitions and things like that. No matter, because it was taking a long time. You understand? It took them time to get to where they needed to be. If they shortcutted that, they would never be the people that they go on to be. You understand? So it's a personal journey. And again, when we live in a world where the media is just it's popping now. You understand? So you can go on the media and you see everybody's success. You see everybody wins and their blessings and blissful seasons. You understand? Not knowing that you're literally creating yours. You're building yours. But sometimes what we don't understand is the building, right? Like the Olympics just started today, right? So you turn on your TV and you see all of these amazing, talented, gifted people. We call them gifted. We call them talented. But what we don't understand is behind the scenes when we're not watching them, they're training, they're working hard. You understand? So, again, like I said, inevitably a lot of things happen in the darkness. It's just the reality and the truth. And so once we're really ready to be real with ourselves, then we'll definitely be able to go within ourselves. And when you go within yourself, that's you just opening the portal to the universe. Because I think his name is Papa Baji or Papa Maji. Please forgive me if I'm saying his name wrong to his devotees and admirers. But there's this Hindu guru, I believe. The name sounds Hindu to me. But anyway, he said, the universe is but a speck in your heart. You understand? And I get what he means by him saying this, because we experience the reality through our heart or through our conscious awareness. You understand? And that's how personal it is, even though it we co-create. It's a divine dance. So yeah, if I had any last advice to give you guys, it would just be, don't wait. Just do yourself a favor and go ahead and take control of your life now. If there's something that's taking control over you, don't wait. Don't let time be an excuse for you to kind of just sit back and say, I have my whole life to fix this. Because time can be a double-edged sword. You understand? The same time that you're sitting back waiting could be the same time that you have to challenge yourself and better yourself. And also, you owe it to yourself. I know what it feels like to be dependent on drugs. I know what it feels like to be dependent on masturbation. I know what it feels like to be dependent on a person. I know what it feels like to like struggle mentally. I've been there, and I'm still currently today working through it. Honest truth. You understand? But one thing that I can say, and that I wouldn't take back or change, I would relive every day again and again and again if I had to, is the fact that I chose to take control of my life. And in little ways, that's opening big doors for me, because there's a saying that goes, little hinges swing big doors. You understand? So it's open opportunity, and it's helping me go ahead and create the things that I actually want, that really fulfill me. You understand? And that's just me being my highest version and helping others to do the same. And that is why I came on here today. So that is my message for you guys today, family. I hope you guys receive it and simply just devote to yourself. That is all I can ask. It's not about me, but it's about you. So that's it, family. I love you guys. Take care until the next one. Peace.